Well, you see what I'm doing right here? I'm moving boxes of Catch a Better Life book. Here you go, Rocky. I'm putting them on these decals are not stand down on either one of my boats. And so I put these on there while it's sitting here. They're cases of books. I put those on there to, and it kind of helps, you can see. Not 100%, but it definitely helps. Getting ready to go fishing with my buddy Rocky Marshall. Rocky Marshall's my buddy too. Rocky Calmus. Rocky Marshall is my buddy too. I got several Rockies. I've had a rocky road.
Love Rocky Road.
Rocky Calmus. Rocky played linebacker at the University of Oklahoma. He was a terror. He looks like he could still play, but can I tell you, he can't. He might be able to get in shape. It'd probably take about 6 months, but now he comes down, goes fishing, and has a really fun.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Dude, don't we, buddy?
Love it.
And you never fished over at Canyon,
I
have
have
you?
not. No.
I never fished
Excited
Canyon
for that.
Lake. We're going to go fish Canyon Lake today and see what happens. Going to get close to 100 degrees, but that's okay. That's okay. You got a fish?
Yeah, it's pretty.
I got one too. That's pretty good right there, doubled up. I popped the grass off. It got in the grass and I popped it off and he grabbed my smoothie. I'm starting out with a double. Hey, it doesn't get much better than that. Looky there. Which one's the biggest? They're both about the same, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty
Except mine's
close.
bigger. No, they both about the same. That's a nice start right there. Golly, double up. We fished and fished and fished and didn't get a bite, and then all of a sudden we catch two. But of course, that's the deal with fishing. You got to get in the fish. When we catch them, you got to get around them, and we hadn't been around them, I guess, until right now. And then we catch two. I got the barb smashed down. I still can't get it unhung. That's a nice fish right there. We're fishing with that American Original Deep Smoothie, which, as y'all know, the one hook just fell out. The other one's just in a spot, and it's just hard to get it out. Get a good hold of it, goddamn.
You do see your fishing for. I won't do that this morning on the show.
That's a nice one right there. Yeah. All right. Where did we catch that dude anyway? Right out there, wasn't it? We're fishing with American Original Deep Smoothie. Rocky played ball down at the University of Oklahoma. Great linebacker.
Good
one
one.
of the great linebackers that we've had. People think about him. They think about several great linebackers we've had at Oklahoma. Rocky won the Butkus Award, not twice, but he should have. He swallowed that
Yeah,
bait,
he swallowed
didn't
it. It's
he? Holy cow.
gonna need a little surgery.
Yeah, here's the needle nose. Let's see, I think. Yeah, those are the best ones. Yep. We got the barb smashed down on crankbaits, so a lot of times even if they're hooked pretty deep, you can get them out pretty easily.
I'm not left-handed, so let's switch here.
Get down, yeah. That fish there's skinny. That's an old fish losing weight. That's what that is.
You want me to
There's
slow
one.
down?
There's one.
Oh yeah, right when I say it.
Now I want you to do what?
I was just gonna slow down for you so you can get caught up.
Ah.
But right then you caught one.
Oh, you didn't even get to brag. You was going to though. Yeah, Rocky, go ahead and slow down a little bit so I can catch one. Well, when they got that bait crossway in their mouth, you have to really be careful. And make sure anytime you're fishing any bait and you grab a hold of a bass, the first thing they're going to do when you put your hand in their mouth like that, I know I got those barbs.
Yeah, I got him.
I got some up here. Go
Okay.
ahead and keep those back there. You're going to need them. Even with the barb smashed down, you're still going to need needle nose. You need needle nose laying all over your boat. You need, I'll check that hook a little bit. It's smashed down, maybe. It's amazing how you have to really get them smashed down all the way to be good. They got just a little bit of barb on them. And then you can have a full barb on and you can lose 4 or 5 fish in a row sometimes with a full barb. And I think I may have less come off without a barb than I do with one, actually. I don't understand that, but I think it might happen. We might have to put plastic worms on Rocky and catch bigger ones. I don't know. A little bit bigger ones might be a little deeper. One way to find out is to catch a bunch on this and then change, right? Yeah, good fish. They're eating that little crankbait. I think we'll probably catch some on some worms after a while too, but early in the morning like this, I think we can catch a few on crankbait. It might get a little bit deeper. Got one treble in him.
Yep. Damn. Don't trouble me.
Keep the treble in the fish, not in the hand. It's a good fish.
Yep.
That is a good fish.
Like
Now,
the
he's
first-
out there in the woods. That we're kind of out
Yeah.
of the grass and just fishing in the woods now. And a lot of these fish are suspended in the tops of these trees, I believe, particularly early in the morning. A lot of times, even in deep water, you can find them suspended up shallow around boat docks, and bushes and trees. Even if they'll kind of ease down a little bit deeper as the day goes on. Sometimes I'm hung up. I'm in a tree, but I got a big fish now. He may not be that big once I get him out of that tree. If I get him out of the tree and he doesn't break my line, take my bait. He's in the tree. When you get a fish hung up in the tree like that, you see how it's rubbing on that tree. What I want to do is kind of move it, and where he can't rub it, he come off. No, he got out of the tree finally. Not quite as big. Well, he's hooked in the sides while he's pulling. He's a good fish. He's a good fish. The reason he's pulling so hard is he's hooked in the side. Come here, baby. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish.
Yeah.
That's a real good one. What I need, Rocky, is a little more trash in my boat. What do you think? I got lures and boxes and stuff laying everywhere. He's got the hook in his mouth, but he was hooked down here on the side too with this one. And that was the thing causing him to pull. He's pulling with his side. Rocky, I think I moved the bar a little higher.
You got
What do you
it.
think?
Yep.
Beautiful. It's American. We talk about the grass. That's the grass that we're in right there. That's milfoil. And it's really a great for the bass. It's for the, it's a great for your habitat. Any lake that's got that in it usually has a lot of food. When the bass spawn out, the little baby bass get down in that grass and hide. The little baby bluegill, all the little stuff can get that grass and hide. It's harder for the fish to decimate your food population. This bait right here is called a moody blue. That's a color. Some people call that color kind of a sexy shad color. It's called a moody blue. It's got some chartreuse on the belly, blue with one little brown stripe on it, and it's really a great bait. This bait will run on 20-pound test line about 6 foot deep. If you put it down on 12-pound test line, you can get about 8 foot out of it. So it's made right here in America, an American-made bait called an American Original by Lucky Strike, who's now owned by Toby Keith. Rocky and I were just talking about Toby when that fish hit. Maybe that's the reason that fish bit.
Yeah,
Reckon?
absolutely.
Reckon?
I thought I was in the grass.
You thought you had grass, you had a bass. I love it when that happens. I love it when that happens. Woo. I should throw back in there where I got one too. You know what? I'm throwing out in open water. What's happening? We're throwing back in open water right now. Got grass under the boat. Perfect catch right there. We got grass under the boat. We're throwing out in open water and coming into the grass. So that bass that's laying on the edge of that grass can see that bait coming. When it gets close, they hammer it. I got one right there, bit and I missed him. Boy, he knocked the dog out of it.
That's for you, Jimmy. I gave it a kiss for you, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope it was a girlfish.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Got it.
Got him?
Yep. Oh, swimmer.
They're eating that little smoothie, aren't they? I thought they might hit that thing early in the morning like this pretty good. Pretty good, and they are hitting it very good.
Yes, sir.
I've caught a lot of bait. That's my favorite crankbait, and this very one. They make this in a shallow bait too. And it's a real good one, you know. But golly, this one right here just runs so smooth and so true and straight all the time. It's got a lot of vibration to it. Just a killer little crankbait. Good thing about crankbaiting, you can do that sitting down. Don't have to have a great hook set. Let the fish set the hook. I hope this don't come through after I talked about not having to have a great hook set sitting down. Nice fish. He's got a mouthful. He has a mouthful. Come here, baby. That's when you gotta be careful. He's hooked on both sides. Get a good grip on them, because when they're hooked on both sides like that, you got, and never are all 6 points in the fish, obviously. Look how easy that barbless hook come out. That is a beauty right there. Now, I caught this on the edge of a field, and if you fish a lake that's got a lot of trees in it, and you find a spot like this, you can see what it is. There's one of two things happening, and it could be both. There's either a creek running through here that's caused this area to be open, but more than likely, this is just simply an old field right here. This is a field out in the middle of the woods. Now, obviously, these were woods, you know, before the lake was here. And so this is a field, and these fields are really good because they've got a lot of tree line edges around them, which the fish really like. And then plus they can get in these tree line edges and then move out in this field to feed a lot. So it makes a perfect situation. And sometimes you find a really big field. Sometimes you find a little small one that might not be any more than, you know, 40, 50 yards across, 60 yards across. This is probably about 150 yards long, and it's only maybe about, probably not much different in the size of a football field, Rocky. What do you think? Probably maybe,
Close.
maybe
Yeah.
about, you know, not quite as wide as a football field. But you got a field right here, and you can fish the edges all the way around the edges of the field, fish out in the middle of it, and sometimes you'll find something out in the middle of that field, like a brush pile or maybe an old car out there or something. Depends on, you know, it depends on the lake. But when they inundate a lake, and then also, you always want to check because there could be a creek running through, a creek coming in, going out of this field. A lot of times they build fields where it's got a creek running through it.
Is that grass or fish?
I bet that's a fish. Grass?
That's fish.
I figured there's a fish out here in this field. Might be a big one. Pretty nice,
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like
pretty
to
nice.
me. I saw a big one swimming right out in front of the boat here, but I didn't get him to bite. Saw him on my scope. That's a nice fish right there. Nice fish right there.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
I think I got you.
You think so, huh?
I do.
Well, if you don't, it's pretty dang close. I'll put
Pretty
it that
close.
way. Well, it's a nice fish. I'll tell you what, Rocky, that's the biggest one that you've caught.
It's not close. Biggest one. She deserves a
Woo!
kiss.
All right, deserves a big kiss. Yes. Your hands are getting stronger, I've
Yeah.
noticed. I've noticed your hands are getting the strength back in your hands, Rock. Woo. What's the big difference when you go from the college to the NFL? I mean, you were a college star. You've been one of the best defenders, maybe the best defender, best linebacker in the nation, and then you go to the NFL. Is it a new world?
New world. Everyone's fast.
Everybody's
Everyone's
good.
big.
All of a sudden, you're not outrunning people, huh?
No, everyone's fast, everyone's big, everyone's good. And it's just, there's no room for mistake. With me, being linebacker, going up against those linemen, they are quick, they're fast, and big.
Of course, the
Most
linemen
of them
are a lot
are
bigger
usually
in
nasty,
college football
too.
now than they were when you played.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
just-
they get guys out of high school. A lot of them are 350 now, linemen.
They breed them bigger.
And what's kind of amazing to me is how some of those defensive linemen, fish wasn't it?
It was.
Is how big some of those defensive linemen are, yet how quick they move their feet.
They can
and all
run,
that.
yeah. They're just,
That's what's always amazing to me. I mean, you can take a guy that's 200 pounds, 230 pounds that can really move his feet and is real quick, but then you add 100 pounds to that and they still do it. It's just an incredible, incredible talent.
you know, a lot of the college, obviously high school it's that way, but college, linemen kind of help each other, you know, double team block and stuff.
Well, that's the good thing about being a linebacker. To me, that was always one of the funnest places on the field, because, you know, many times you get to people and nobody touch you. First person you touch was the guy carrying the football. And because other people are getting some of that, getting the meat out of the way.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. Boy, he loaded up on it. All right, come off. That was the biggest. Oh, another one got it. Another one got it. Another one got it. Throw right there. There's 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, let me.
I lost him. They're still there. They're right here.
Dang it.
They're right. I got that one. They're right here. Right here. Right
I'm
here,
caught
right
up.
here.
I'm sorry.
Right here. There's 3 or 4 of them. I threw by that tree. There must have been a school by that tree. Yeah, there's still one after mine. Still one after mine.
I'm caught up.
You're caught in a tree?
I'm caught. I was reeling in real fast to go over there and throw it, and it just got that little tiny limb.
God, I don't know how. I had 4 different fish hooked, but when they're hitting it like that, they're running at it and slashing, trying to get it before another one does. This one just grabbed the end of it. It's all he grabbed. That's a nice fish. They were all about like that. They were all really big, pretty fish.
Stay right there and keep throwing. Don't worry about me.
I'm not. Oh. No,
Give you a chance to get caught up, catch 2 or 3.
There you go. I appreciate it.
You're
I appreciate it.
great host.
God.
Leaving me hung up.
Pulled them all out here in the middle of this pocket, though, and it'll take them a while before they get back over. There might only been 2 or 3. I don't know. I think only saw one other fish. I'm not positive. Golly. We'll go over the top. I don't want to get too close to that tree, because
This one's forgivable too.
yeah, if it's underwater. Everybody that fishes crankbait has heard it a million times that you want your crankbait running into something if possible. You want your bait to hit something. Now golly, good thing those are worthless. Caught one, Jimmy. Caught that finger right there. Caught the ring finger. But when you want them running into things, you want them hitting things and they bounce off, they hit and they bounce off. And that's called a deflection strike. But here's one of the critical things when you run into something. Whatever you run into, when it hits something, slow the bait down. Always slow the bait down. Sometimes even stop it. Particularly if you think it's hitting grass, you can kind of feel the mushiness of the grass. You want to really develop a feel for a crankbait. You want to be able to feel that thing, feel the wiggle, know exactly what that wiggle feels like, and know that that's normal, what I'm feeling down there. When that changes, something's happened down there. It might be that a fish grabbed it. You didn't feel the strike, but a fish grabbed it. Normally, it's something like you might have hit something a little mushy. Usually that's grass or maybe a limb or something that's up against. Stop your bait. And if you're using a floating bait, now these baits are going to suspend, so when you stop them, they're not moving. Or when you stop them, they're going to back up a little bit just like that. So when you hit something, you feel that hit something, it deflects back, stop that bait, and then let it float up a little bit, and then start cranking slowly, where it'll just tick over the top of that, tick over the top of that. Got a little blood on my finger. Medic, medic, medic. And let it tip over the top of it. So anytime you feel that bait hit something, and that's exactly what you want it to do. You want a crankbait running into something, slow down, stop and crank slow. Stop and crank slow. A lot of times that's exactly when you get your bait. If you want, you can let this thing float up a couple of foot. Now, one of the things that might happen a lot of times when they're floating up is sometimes that line will get tangled around your hook. So you want to keep control. As it floats back up, you want to make sure you have control of it. So if you get a bite as that thing's floating back up, pop, you can set the hook and catch that fish. Crankbaits running into something is good. A good rule of thumb, slow down, slow down, slow down.